What was the thing about Kyle Larson that stuck out to you when he got in that Indy car that you were really surprised with or not surprised with, from his time that you got to spend around him?
He's as naturally talented as any racing driver I've ever seen. I think, and I saw this a lot out of Fernando when I brought Alonso, to the Indy 500. So you see the kind of championship qualities of these guys. He was very calm. Nothing seemed to be happening too fast for them, and they're able to compartmentalize. So, both Kyle and Fernando, they knew where they needed to be on race day, but then they took it one day at a time. They were never too hung up on the time sheets, or they never got ahead of themselves. And that's where you get yourself in trouble, and that's some experience versus, maybe some, Antonelli, who's going to be a great talent at Mercedes. He went out and his first free practice won while he was unbelievably quick. He also crashed quickly. And he was, I think that was not lack of talent, that was lack of experience. So you see someone like Kyle and Fernando, they've got an extreme amount of confidence in themselves. They study a lot. They ask lots of questions, and they creep up on it knowing, hey, I got 10 test days before I have to be on top of this. So they kind of use each session one at a time. They know exactly what they're trying to achieve. They experiment. And Kyle was just in total control the entire month of May, never put a foot wrong, was unbelievably quick, qualified fifth. And actually, we finished second and fourth. He was running in front of Pato and Alex, all race. And then unfortunately had a pit lane speeding violation, which we had a bit of a long brake pedal. So I can't even say that was Kyle's fault. I think he didn't have the brake pedal under him that he thought he would have, because you get pad knockoff around Indy. So, Kyle, as a driver, he's as good as anyone I've ever seen. I think if you give him enough time in a Formula One car, he'd be competitive. The problem is, coming back to those testing restrictions and the time, there isn't enough time that you could give him to learn all these circuits. And with how competitive Formula One is, you only have to be off by a tenth to be the difference between pole and 6th, 7th, and 8th right now, or to be from 8th to 15th. But Kyle, as a racing driver, that guy's awesome.